How's it going, guys? We are here with another episode of Stock versus Not, and we're going to switch things up a bit. Typically when we work down the line with these brand central cars, but today I figured since we're going to be in the European market, let's stray away from the British cars for a little bit and head on to the other end alphabetically to Volvo, which was just recently added to Gran Turismo 7. And currently the only new car listing that they have is the 2013 Volvo V40 T5 R-Design. So let's go ahead and hop into the settings and see what we got going on. So if I'm correct, I believe this is an inline 5, or it could be an inline 4, I can't remember. It's either inline 5 or inline 4. It's the R-Design, so it is the sportier looking wagon, if you will. Wagon or hatchback, whatever you want to call it. I consider it a wagon since the S40 would be your sedan version. It's front engine, front wheel drive. I believe for this model year, they also had the Polestar, which was the all wheel drive performance variant of it. That one was an absolute killer. Fortunately, the game didn't give it to us, so we're stuck with the front wheel drive version. No worries. So anyway, what do we got going on here? 443 performance points, 210 horsepower, 221 foot-pounds of torque. Weighs just about 3,300 pounds, and of course we have that front heaviness with it being a front engine car. Comfort soft tires are given to us. Here's the stock settings, nothing too crazy here. So nice little fun hot hatch, kind of the underdog when it comes to other things considered like the GTI, the like Mazda Speed 3, Focus ST. What else was out there at the time with the hatchback? I guess the Civic had a hatchback too. But here we are. What's this going to be going up against? So yeah, Focus ST, GR86, the Silvia, the Crown Athlete, SVT Raptor, and things of that nature. So we're looking somewhere around a 1 minute lap out of this guy here. Focus ST does have a lot more horsepower than it, so probably on the higher end of that 1 minute mark, but let's see what we can do. Very interesting instrument cluster, center mounted speedometer, and your tach is this weird vertical bar to the right of it. Definitely different for a vehicle. And yeah, I wanted to do the Volvo because if I were to stick with the British cars, the next one would have been McLaren, and I feel like we've just been doing some crazy high horsepower cars lately, and just kind of want to get back into something, you know, a little more normal and road going. Yeah, this is definitely normal. So yeah, that there is what we call some body transfer and weight, where the rear end likes to get loose. And yeah, it just wants to get up from behind you. That's a front wheel drive thing. Ask me how I know. The Volvo is actually one of my favorite brands out there because they do make some pretty cool cars, and they're just not as popular in America, unfortunately. The V40 actually was one thing I did consider getting, but unfortunately, just with my situation, the back seats just weren't quite big enough to fit the kiddos in the back and the car seats, with them being rear facing still. Forward facing, that would have been a totally different idea there. But opening lap 104.293. We all know that Volvo is known for their safety. One of the safest cars on the road, even in the early times of their history. Volvo actually was the one that I believe developed and patented the 3-point seatbelt, and then they left that patent open so everyone else can use it, because it was indeed a very safe option when it came to restraint systems in a road-going car. So good for you, Volvo. So this V40, how does it handle? Comfort soft tires aren't really helping get much. Definitely is struggling for some grip. I do not remember how the Focus ST drove, so I can't really tell you if it was any better. I believe the Focus ST did come with sports tires, not the comfort soft, so it might have been a little better on the traction and handling when it came to the stock car. Yeah, so if you remember, this Focus did a 101. We're at a 104 right now, so I do not think this car's going to get anywhere near that Focus ST's time. And again, this is the R-Design, so technically speaking, this is in its full performance-oriented version. That Polestar edition would have been its performance version, and like I said, that one would have been all-wheel drive and a lot more robust when it came to its power plant and handling. Alright, let's finish up lap 3, and we'll see how this thing fares on the leaderboard. I think it's a little fun to drive something that's not technically sports oriented every now and then, just because it kind of oversaturates the leaderboard, just always having things be updated. Alright, 104.293. Our optimum would have been a 104.050, so pretty much on target there. So where does that put us for this Volvo? Volvo goes right in between the GT86s with Comfort Soft tires as well too, which made about similar horsepower, believe it or not, but a little lighter. So not bad at all. Not bad at all. That Toyota Crown Athlete is still a powerhouse. But yeah, not bad at all. Let's go ahead and switch up to cars. Of course, if we're going to get a Volvo, we got to get in that blue color, kind of what the Polestar blue, I would call it. That's what its signature known for. Of course, blue and white wheels, you can't go wrong with that. So what do we got here now? We are at 688 performance points. No engine swaps here today. 451 horsepower, 355 foot-pounds of torque, and we're down to 2,500 pounds. I did not adjust any of the front to rear weights. It seemed to handle just fine with my testing, brief testing. Tire-wise, of course, we're going racing softs. Here is the suspension setup that I have going on. If you know front-wheel drive cars, it's all about kind of softening the front and loosening up the rear, or stiffening the rear to allow some oversteer. We got all the camber in the front and just a little bit in the back. Here is the differential settings. Fully customized racing transmission. This is the top speed that I've adjusted to. Here's the aero setting there. And here's what we got for bolt-ons. So basically everything engine-wise allows you to go up to stage 3 for the weight reduction, high RPM turbocharger, anti-lag, intercooler, blah 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 blah. You know the deal. This is now a 688 performance point car, so that puts it into the 700s. What's it going up against? The Toyota Alphard. Haven't talked about that in a while. That cut at 51.012. Now remember, that was an all-wheel drive engine swap LFA car, I believe. So V12. So I don't, V12 or V10? Wow, I can't remember. Anyways, it made power and it was a screamer. I don't expect it to touch that because that made 700 horsepower. We're at 451. Realistically speaking, this car's outgunned in every single possible way right now. Even the SFR made 278, but it was also a lightweight. So yeah, let's see if we can get it in that 52, 54. So let's see if we can get it to a 53. And before we start, I always forget to show you guys what the car looks like. Let's just stop it here. So we got this kind of Focus RS style wing, OZ Racing wheels. It's lowered, it has camber. It looks absolutely awesome. So, yep, that is the Volvo V40 fully modified. So let's see. Let's go ahead and do a couple laps on this guy and see what kind of laps we can bust out. Yeah, I do like this car. It's a nice change from not having a 1,000 horsepower monster being ripped around here. I think this setup is perfect for Suzuka here. It's not too overpowering. To be honest with you, most competitive track cars these days are making like 400 or 500 horsepower. No one's running 1,000 horsepower race cars. It's way too much work to get to that point, and to be completely honest, you don't always use all 1,000 horsepower on tracks like these. Drag strips, yeah, I figure half miles, yeah, but like 400 or 500 horsepower is healthy, and even if something breaks, it's not going to cost you as much as like a 1,000 horsepower build. Alright, 52.825, I was guessing around a 53, so looks like we are right on target for some good laps here today. Let's see what we can do. This car looks absolutely gnarly with that one on the top. Now, I wonder if this is, because I know the Volvo C30, which is the two-door hatchback version, that one was based off of a Ford platform, but there's also the same platform that the Mazda C3 was based off of. They shared a lot of geometry, even like the engine mounts were practically the same. I wonder if this one's based off of like a Ford Focus as well, because proportionally it's kind of like a Ford Focus hatchback. 52.135. We're going purple every lap, that's good. Again, this car is, setup-wise, this car is just very controllable. I have no issues ripping this thing around. It's front, even though it's front-wheel drive, it's, the understeer is really not there now. Obviously, if you overdo your inputs, you're gonna invoke it, but for the most part, this car is doing exactly what I needed to do. Go-kart-like handling, if you will, as I understeer off the track, because again, if you ask for too much, it's going to overwork those front tires, and you're going to be in a bad place, as I live that life every time I go to an autocross into Speed 3. Alright, we're going to do, let's see how lap 4 goes. I don't know if we're going to do lap 5. This car is fairly consistent for the most part. I'm just a terrible driver. Not a bad car at all, though. Sounds nice too. It's nice to have a different sounding engine. We've been having so many high displacement, high cylinder count engines that are all just screaming. This one's almost like a lower note, if you will. It's a lot of induction noise, is how I call it. Last turn here. I don't know if we're going to get it here. Let's just do a lap 5 for old time's sake. This trail braking is a front-wheel drive car's best friend. Keep the weight balanced and you'll be just fine. Purple in sector 1, that's good. We like purple. Going slower on this last part of the S, and then back on the power here. Slight lift off here. We're prepared for this last turn. Turn in early. Hope that the understeer doesn't kill you too much. We're going to power out here. Yeah, slight lift because understeer. Alright, 51.851. Optimal would have been at 831. So yeah, we pretty much drove this car very nicely today. I'm very happy with it. So let's see where this puts us on the ranking board. We are not touching that top 10, that is for sure. It is number 3, just sitting behind the Toyota Tundra and the Toyota Alphard. 51.851. 51, yeah, so it cut at 51, surprisingly. So what did it beat out? It beat out, oh, that is actually very interesting. It makes about the same power, it makes the same power as the Focus ST, just beating that out. So, very cool to see that a performance-oriented, fully modified sports car got beat out by a performance-inspired car. So there you have it, folks. That is the Volvo V40 R-Design. That concludes our segment with Volvo for now. So we'll be back into the Asian market to do another car there, and then we'll just keep on rolling. I will catch you guys in the next one.